Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you some more CasterMuse Star League Season 4. This is the round of 4, and it is a best of 7. And game number 3 within that best of 7, between Rush and Best. So previously, we've had two insane, super close games, both of which looked like Rush was probably winning a little bit. That Best then went ahead and grinded out into victories for himself. Both games, lots of damage was done on both sides, especially that first one. Oh my god. But definitely a very well-matched series. But that being said, I mean, Best being up 2-0, you got to be a little bit wary about that as Rush. Now, this map is polypoid. It's really different than the last two. Optimizer and Ringing Bloom, there's a lot of like different terrains and greedy plays that can occur. Polypoid is a much more standard map. So is this going to benefit Rush a bit more? I wouldn't say benefit, but it's going to play out very differently, I would say. Now, it looks like Best wants to do a forward 9 gate, just outside of his natural. Definitely put some Zealot pressure on. Little does he know, Rush is across the map in the cross spawn. So cross spawn is going to be completely reasonable for him, holding on against Zealots. Probably shouldn't end up taking any damage. And if he ends scouts, he might even see that first Zealot coming across the map and be super ready for it. Well, he scouts down on 12. We'll see if he takes the gas. Nope. Okay, he's going for a barracks expansion. And that is going to give him a nice, strong economy. And again, against what he's... Oh, he actually goes 13 gas. Okay, so I take that back. This is probably going to be just one SCV mining, and that's in between factory expansion and barracks expansion. So still a high economy play, but very, very, very safe. You don't really lose to anything with that build. Looking over at Best's side, he does have that first Zealot almost halfway done. Queues up the second one immediately. Knows exactly what he wants to do here. And, oh, he actually does end up sending 3 to mine gas. So kind of an interesting build we're seeing from Rush. We'll have to keep an eye on it and see how it evolves. He actually, it looked to me like he put 3 on gas before the probe came into vision. So it's just like kind of a later gas in general, which is also okay. Normally you go for the gas like a whole supply earlier, so you get a quicker factor and everything, but no biggie. Anyways, we have the factory starting up here. The Zealot coming across the map. Marine pushing back this probe. He does have a nice Sim City here. As you can see, he can just run the Marines back through that area. Put that damage on the Zealot right away. Now, here comes the Zealot. You don't want to get hit by that. Backing up now. Brings the SCV rather down with those Marines. And he is making the 4th Marine as well. So this should really be no problem for Rush. Starts the bunker, and of course, with that 4th Marine coming, there's not really enough time for Best to get across the map and get anything done. In fact, he sends this Zealot back towards the home. It looks like he actually canceled the second Zealot, maybe when he found out that it was cross spawns. And, I mean, the bunker's going up. Rush is getting a Vulture here as well, and the Vulture... Like, I mean, it would just crush these Zealots anyways, but he probably wants to slip this by and see if he can get some scouting intel later on. Now, we're going to need to see that next, Oh, okay, I was going to say, this looks a little bit weird, but we do have the 3rd depot, right? Yeah, it's 27 of 34, so there you go, 1, 2, 3 depots. That makes his command center quite a bit later. So... Looking at the Nexus versus the CC, it's not that far off. Normally the CC can start a little bit ahead of the Nexus, but Best cutting that Zealot and then Rush going for 3 depots does make it a bit easier for Best. Now, Mine's on the way, and he does have a Vulture out on the map. This is a cool move to be seeing, right? The starport coming up. He'll definitely be going for a Vulture drop. And he'll also be able to put a lot of mines out on the map. So he is going to be a little bit late on siege tanks, but this is a pretty safe build overall if the Dragoons are not at your bunker. If the Dragoons are sitting back more defensively, like we see here from Best, which is more likely to see at higher levels because they don't want to take a ton of damage from a Vulture, you're able to kind of just get the Vultures out, lay mines wherever you want them, and then utilize those Vultures in a great way of trying to pick off some probes, right? Like, the mines have already kind of paid for the vultures, and then maybe you get a bunch of probes as well. Now, Best is going for the Robo, adding up a second gateway as well. Just sitting back, defensively, making those probes. Command Center finishes up here for Rush, so it looks like he's only going to be down a couple of workers overall, but with the Academy on the way, that will go to about 6 when he makes the comm stats. So Vulture Speed coming in. Look at this beautiful mine laying, too. He's getting great vision. Locking off possibly some Nexuses. No, not going to put a mine there. That's kind of surprising. But might want to leave a few mines inside of some of the vultures as well. A lot of times when you drop off in the Protoss main base, if you have a couple mines that can slow down the Dragoons from clearing them out. And he does have 5 mines remaining right now. And it looks like... Okay, he actually does bring another vulture. So, has this timed out pretty perfectly. And he actually has a couple mines here. These are for anti-Reaver drop for the most part. Some really interesting locations. And here we go. Let's see if this drop can do some damage for Rush. Where's he going to pick him up? Maybe over here and, excuse me, swing through the natural. A lot of people like to drop 1 off in the natural, then send 3 up to the main. And you can notice that the placement here from Best, he has a couple, oops, sorry, a couple of Dragoons waiting on the side. And these are anti-drop Dragoons. You expect the dropship to come in this way. So anyways, here we go. Dropping, oh, he actually drops all of his vultures here. Might get a decent amount. The Zealot actually comes up and gets in the way a little bit, but look at this. With only a single Dragoon here defensively and Best moving across the map with his other ones, that was pretty decent. Can't really complain about that one. Did some okay damage. You got the Zealot as well. Forced the probes to run away. But it looks like Rush may have missed a little bit of SCV production. Maybe he got supply blocked in there. But he has his comm sets up and right now is down 5 SCVs. And if he was non-stop during there, he would be about even right now on SCVs, or within 3 at least. But anyways, this is looking pretty strong overall, right? He's got his harassment still out on the map in the form of the dropship with the vultures. He is macroing up a little bit. Armory finishing. 2 factories, making a Wraith. It's always great to make a Wraith here so that you do have some anti-shuttle tech in case they come in with a Reaver drop or something like that. And in fact, there is a Reaver drop on the way, so that Wraith is going to be super valuable. Best might actually not even go in when his observer sees the Wraith because you can counter it so hard. We'll see if Best gets shuttle speed. That's definitely something he has been preferring lately in his Terran vs. Protoss in general, and today specifically as well. So the third Nexus is going to be finishing. Hasn't been started yet here for Rush, nor should it have been. Realistically, he's going to need at least 1 more factory before starting that 3rd command center. That's generally what you'll end up seeing, so Protoss can't just overwhelm you. Now, it does have a Goliath out here as well. Siege mode all done. Great placement. Look at that. A mine right below that turret. Gonna float this eBay out so that the shuttle gets seen and shot at before it gets there. Very solid defense from Rush. Some well-placed turrets as well. Catches this observer. Beautiful flank from the Goliath, otherwise it wouldn't have died. And his defense seems complete. I think if you're a Protoss player and you fly in here right now, that is a terrible idea. Now, he's focusing primarily upon tank Goliath and starts his 3rd command center. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. I guess what he can do is cut some SCVs and just produce a bunch of factories pretty quickly. But Best right now is going up to quite a few gates. He has a single shuttle, and he is getting a second Reaver for it, but we definitely need to see a lot more units for Rush if he wants to take that 3rd base cleanly. Best still clearing out the map a little bit, getting ready to take his own 4th. You know, when you get this scouting intel and you see your opponent, for instance, on 2 factories in a starport, throw down a 3rd command, you definitely want to get that 4th Nexus. There's just no way that the Terran can attack you anytime soon, so you gotta make use of that and expand. Science facility on the way, 2nd armory as well, so he'll be going up to 2-1. Added a couple of factories and then another turret. So he's going to be on 4 factories, but honestly, Best is playing a pretty retracted game right now. You know, he's starting to blow up his gateway count a little bit, but he doesn't really have that many units at the front. He might just try to slow this with the Reavers and maybe a few goons just for support so that you can't just walk up to the Reavers and kill them. Yeah, he spots the siege, picks up. Let's see if he can get some good volleys off here. Ooh, the ranged Goliaths come up and they get the pick. Only a single Reaver gets out, but much less useful in this situation. So Rush can actually instantly take this third base. Best just keeping most of his units at home. Maybe he's afraid of that dropship still. But looking strong, right? Like, he takes a little volley there. Maybe he'll pick off like, yeah, he picks off a Goliath, but loses a Dragoon. Can't really do much of anything here. And Rush going to easily secure his third base. Of course, we have Best over here, still adding the gateways. Getting that shuttle speed and a new shuttle. Zealot legs just now starting, so it's going to be a while before he has that very powerful upgrade. And this is kind of interesting. We have a move out here. I guess since he got the shuttle, and that means 2 Reavers of shuttle are gone, and he knows Best went up to 4 bases. Maybe this is an attack that he feels like can work, but there are a lot of Dragoons out here. Normally, this is not a real attack timing while you take your third base after going dropship. Let's see. He's sieging. He's moving forward. He does have those range Goliaths to keep dropships off of himself. Sieging up in some really nice spots. If he can get these tanks onto high ground, this is going to be gigantic. Oh my god. He gets them sieged up here. This Nexus might end up dying. The Goliath's walking over to try to stop these from being dive bombed on. Okay, he drops off some Zealots. Definitely don't want to let these tanks deal additional splash damage. And he loses 2 of those tanks. Only 1 left over. That's going to make the Nexus live a lot longer right now. I gotta tell you what, I feel like once again we found Rush get himself into a really interesting position where he might be able to get far ahead. But a DT coming out, a lot of Zealots, that leg upgrade is almost done, so is Psystorm. Not that many tanks left over. He actually walks right up. Oh, almost gets the double mine drag. That would have been gigantic. Actually kills off those mines so it can't happen again. Laying a bunch of mines over to the side and bringing down more tanks. This is making me a bit nervous. Notice he doesn't really have anything at home. He is bringing everything forward. Now, if he gets broken here, that's going to be pretty bad. He needs to trade really well if he gets broken. Now, Best going out through the side. Sieging up a couple tanks here. And look, he unsieges the rest of his army. Going to start moving over to this area. Kind of excited to see what Best's idea is here. It looks like he wants to do a counterattack. Don't forget, this Nexus still not mining. He forced all the probes out. They did mostly get away, so that's kind of a big deal for him. And Rush is chasing down his army. I don't know about this. This army chase. Like, he should back up. Okay, the shuttle coming forward. Yeah, if you get an engage on those mines, you are going to lose a lot of tanks if even 1 Zealot closes. All right, Rush moving back down here to engage with the Dragoons. Putting some mines down to the side here. Now, the rest of the army of Best coming in right now. This is going to be a pretty big attack from Best. I can't imagine this Terran army holding on. A couple great Psystorms come out. That shuttle doing its job. A mine drag as well. And the army of Rush just getting massacred. Definitely a quality trade here for Best. Some of the mines do end up hitting, but he's going to be able to back up. And I think he should be able to hold on. He only has 2 add-ons. So he doesn't have that many tanks right now, but laying enough mines would probably force Best to turn around unless he can get up here with the Zealots as well and close on top of these 2 tanks. Uh-oh. Rush, has he overextended too much? And for the last time here, Vulture's coming up to clear those Zealots. Great clearing. A storm goes down right there. Oh my god, still repairing the tank, kind of keeping his chances alive. More units popping out, but Best continues to push forward. His braking ability of Terrans is second to none. Trying to drag another mine and does do it on top of that siege tank. Looks like he does have to finally back up a little bit, right? Right? Or is he just going to keep on rallying these Zealots? Best showing what he's so well known for from the past. His unrelenting macro in this matchup. Getting on top of these siege tanks once again. Rush with very little left over. He does have those 2-1 upgrades, but he's got to be kicking himself, losing that entire army. High Templar comes up, doesn't get its Psystorm off. A new tank here as well, but now there's a shuttle to help deal with everything. More rallies coming down the ramp, and here we go. Oh, he actually didn't have the storm energy ready quite yet there, so does re-pick it up. And with more vultures coming, is he finally going to stabilize here? I think so. I think he's just barely going to do it. Realistically, he needs a third add-on. None of his factories are positioned in a way where they can get a third add-on. Maybe this one, but it would block rallying. So that's painful. He doesn't have many tanks, and that makes it really hard to hold on. All right, here we go. Another bomb coming out right now. Zealot's being dropped out. He has 2 High Templars in this shuttle right now. Okay, drops them out. One onto the vultures there. Could hit the tanks with a second one. Gets Zealots on top of these siege tanks. Looks like they are going to be blown up, and Best pushing forward, gets the last tank there. Has an observer, has these goons, and the mines don't get those favorable hits that they were looking for. Best is just getting a lot of value right now. During all this, expanding down to 6 o'clock. He has reclaimed 9 o'clock as well. So his economy up to 5 bases against the 3 of Rush. Rush is getting 3 too, so if he can slow this down, there's still a chance. There's still a way to come back. But I don't know if he can slow down. Look at this. Huge amounts of Dragoons being added in now, realizing that the tank production just isn't there right now for Rush. Pushing forward, picking off that tank. And you know what? That is it. GG. Best goes up 3-0.